When I was in junior high, my parents were navigating a separation, which eventually led to divorce. My church had recently called a new youth pastor. He was old. Well, we thought he was, although he was probably late 30s at the time. When Craig and his family arrived, my mom and I were among the first there to greet him and his family. Then, we helped move boxes into his house. I had no idea at the time, but Craig would later play a pivotal role in my life. He would be the one who helped me come to terms with my parents' divorce, challenged me to teach my first Bible study, and later create an opportunity for me to serve as his intern for 2 years during college. Like many former youth group students, my tendency is to recreate the youth group experience I had as a teenager. But when I consider the other teenagers who went to youth group with me, the statistics bring me pause. Most of those who attended youth group with me are no longer walking with Christ. Between this and my own experience as the pastor of youth and families for 13 years, there can be a gnawing feeling that this isn't working. Reports about the futility of youth ministry have caused me and most other youth workers much grief. After all, what if the critics are right? What if we aren't merely wasting our time, but actually contributing to the problem? These are the secret concerns many youth workers share. The statistics about the dropout rate are not mere numbers to us, but students whom we have known and served and loved in the name of Christ. Their faces come to mind whenever we think about the joys and the trials of ministry. Some former students who came from unbelieving homes and are still walking faithfully with Christ into adulthood, bearing witness to a true and lasting conversion. Others were raised by faithful Christian parents, yet reject their childhood faith. We often find ourselves surprised by whose faith remains and whose has withered. But we endure in ministry, trusting the Lord to reserve a remnant for himself among a seemingly lost generation. Youth ministry has begun a shift over the past decade. An increasing number of leaders has considered the dropout rate and started asking difficult questions about the validity and practice of youth ministry. They raise many of the same concerns youth workers have discussed and debated among one another, but they broaden the discussion beyond youth workers. This has set the stage for a new era of youth ministry, where the entire church is being called to renew its commitment to the next generation and to family discipleship. As youth ministry continues to transition into a new era marked by a renewed emphasis on ministry to parents and integration of youth into the life of the church, we must consider the foundations.